From KSDK, this is News Channel 5.
Good evening. All parents can learn from a new report on kids and safety. One local child learned the hard way just today.
What do you think about helmets now?
We should wear them.
How come?
Because they could save your life.
Despite the warnings, kids continue to ride bicycles without using helmets. Tonight at 10, a pediatric ER doctor tells us what she sees every day.
It's a high-stakes showdown, and you may be caught in the middle. At stake, boats in moats, casinos, millions of dollars in taxes, and thousands of jobs. Opponents say the casinos trick the public, and boats in moats are illegal. The casinos say accidents like the Admiral's prove boats in moats are safer and want the state constitution changed. Now, Missouri voters may end up deciding the future of boats in moats. Cover story, tonight at 10, only on News Channel 5.
Breaking news is coming up next. A bomb and arson squad is at the UPS office downtown examining a suspicious package. We'll have a live report.
And the Major K squad will work through the night, pumping a lake, looking for clues to a murder.
Coming up next, St. Louis police just held a news conference to talk about what they found in a suspicious-looking box at the UPS office downtown. We'll have a live report. And police arrest a man they believe to be the Galleria carjacker who struck in February. The news starts now.
This is News Channel 5 at 10.
UPS workers wait outside while bomb and arson investigators try to figure out what's in a suspicious package in downtown St. Louis. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Our top story tonight at 10. All work came to a standstill after a strange find at the UPS office.
It was discovered at the United Parcel Service facility on South Jefferson. News Channel 5's Ruth Azella standing by with details. Ruth?
Well, Karen and Rick, we are on the 500 block of South Jefferson. I don't know if you can see behind me, but the evacuated workers are still waiting outside, waiting for word for when they can return to their jobs. All of this happened within the next 90 minutes. Let's take a look at what the scene was like shortly after police were called. Now, this started when UPS workers found a grayish substance they said was leaking from a package, so they opened it up to take a look at it. What they think they found was component materials for some kind of explosive device. It appeared to be a pipe, gunpowder, a fuse, and a piece of paper with what may have been instructions on how to construct an explosive device. Just a short time ago, Major Roy Jokenstaller talked to reporters about what the contents appeared to be.
They're checking on the type of chemicals. Their feeling is it's two basic chemicals that can be found in a chemistry set.
It does appear right now that the threat of a bomb is over at this time, but ironically, our crew is here just a short time ago, earlier today, before all of this broke, doing a story on UPS. They have a new policy on accepting packages for shipment. Beginning this week, in fact, beginning yesterday, there is a new policy whereby Missouri customers have to have their packages open and inspected before they can go out by ground or air. It was done with no fanfare, only posters placed at the St. Louis and Earth City customer counters. They announced all packages must be open for inspection before being accepted for shipment. UPS officials say they're mainly concerned with the occasional customer who doesn't properly pack a box or who doesn't know certain items like hazardous materials, household cleaning fluids, and alcohol cannot be shipped.
Sometimes we get people who will ship perhaps a gun or something. They don't realize they have to be a federal firearms license dealer. So there again, the public is just not aware of the things that they can and cannot ship.
I'm trying to make sure that I do everything possible.
Michael Schultz didn't know about the policy until he showed up with a new computer hard drive he was returning to the sender. He's grateful for the help in making sure it arrives in one piece, and he has his own theory for why UPS is inspecting boxes.
Somebody someplace shipped a bomb, and they just put the Unabomber away and all this other stuff, and they don't want anybody mailing bombs.
Regular customers who ship the same kind of item 2 or 3 times a week can get on a special list and bypass the inspections. Of course, people who don't want to hassle with the UPS customer desk do have another option. They could send their packages through an authorized UPS shipper, like this mailboxes, etc., in Richmond Heights. For a few dollars more, businesses like this one will take your wrapped package or pack a box for you, then send it out by UPS. The owners expect to see more business as a result of the policy. They found out about it a few weeks ago from an angry customer who had just come from the Jefferson Avenue facility and said he would be taking all his future business here.
He mentioned he'd be coming here versus going to UPS.
Now, once again, the threat that there might have actually been an explosive device has been totally discounted by authorities. Nonetheless, tonight, as you can probably imagine, UPS officials are probably relieved that they have this new policy in place. Reporting live from downtown St. Louis, I'm Ruth Ezel. Karen and Rick.
All right, Ruth, thank you.
And meanwhile, in St. Charles, police continue at this hour to drain a lake, looking for clues in the murder of a 13-year-old Wentzville girl.
News Channel 5's Dan Gray joins us live from the St. Charles Police Department with more. Dan?
Rick, Major K-Squad detectives have set up their command post here at the St. Charles Police Department. Sources tell News Channel 5 that divers did find some evidence in that lake over the weekend. The lake is located on the western side of the Lindenwood University campus. Work crews moved 2 high-powered pumps to the lake, and they've been pumping out tens of thousands of gallons of water since 1 p.m. Tuesday.
Well, we have conducted our crime scene search on the ground as well as from the water of that lake and through a dragging operation. However, we don't feel comfortable until we can actually see what is at the bottom of there. So we felt the best way to do that is remove the water.
Sources say important evidence was discovered by divers over the weekend. Detectives are hoping it is the clue that leads them to the killer of 13-year-old Tiffany Saborin, whose decapitated body was found April 26th. The lake, which is within walking distance from where the body was found, captured the interest of detectives from the beginning of the investigation.
Well, there was a scuba diver down there last Wednesday. I believe it was last Wednesday.
Mike and Linda Lepresti's home backs up to a field near the lake. Investigators questioned them about what they heard or saw because their 13-year-old daughter had a slumber party the night before Tiffany's body was found.
Actually, I think what they were hoping was that one of the girls may have snuck out sometime, during the night, which, then they may have noticed someone back there, but we kept a pretty tight thumb on them, and then none of them got out.
Now, Major K-Squad detectives are seeking the public's help in solving this crime. There are 2 ways to contact police. One is by mail. Tips can be sent to this address on your screen, Tiffany Saborin Homicide, Post Office Box 1321, St. Charles, Missouri, 63302. Or you can call the Crime Stoppers telephone number, that number on your screen as well, 949-3333. Now, the draining of the lake at Lindenwood University will continue throughout the night. Police are hoping to have most of the water drained out by mid-morning to allow them to see if there is any more evidence that can be collected from the bottom of the lake. Police aren't talking about what evidence they're looking for in that lake. However, they have scheduled a news conference for tomorrow afternoon to update the investigation. Karen and Rick, back to you.
All right, Dan, thank you. In other news tonight, a man wanted for a carjacking at the Galleria this winter was captured today. The FBI says the St. Louis Metropolitan Fugitive Task Force arrested Donald Antonio DeVault this morning. He's accused of taking a car from a shopper at gunpoint. The woman was able to jump from her car while it was moving in the parking lot. Her car was recovered the next day, and the 2 men with it were arrested. Police, however, did not believe either of them had been the carjacker.
Chesterfield police are looking for a teenage boy who reportedly attacked 2 sales clerks with a hammer. Police say it happened at this store around 3 yesterday afternoon. Employees say the boy, who appeared to be 12 or 13, asked to try on some inline skates. The workers say the boy then followed one clerk into a back room and hit her on the head twice with a hammer. Then employees say he attacked another employee behind the counter and took off.
He just did what he did for whatever reason.
Can't figure that out.
And that's the sad thing. We don't know the reason.
Police say the boy is about 12 or 13 with dark hair and an olive or dark complexion. They say he was wearing wire-rimmed glasses and is described as about 5'3", weighing about 90 pounds. Investigators say the boy was last seen wearing an olive or khaki T-shirt with shorts and carrying a green backpack. You're asked to call the Chesterfield Police if you have any information. A powerful blast in an oil recycling plant in East St. Louis sent 6 people to the hospital today.
We heard a loud hissing sound and then a big boom.
The explosion rocked the neighborhood around Gateway Petroleum. A welder working near fuel tanks may have accidentally sparked the explosion and fire. He was the most seriously injured and is in stable condition this evening. More evidence tonight that children should wear helmets when bicycling or inline skating.
As News Channel 5's Deanne Lane reports on the Night Beat, thousands of youngsters are rushed to emergency rooms every year. But it doesn't have to be that way.
Is that better? You want some more?
10-year-old Mike Madden learned the hard way. He almost lost an eye biking to school this morning. He wasn't wearing a helmet. Like too many youngsters, he was afraid of being ridiculed.
Other kids teasing him, you know, and you know, I just gave in, you know, don't force it.
According to the National Safe Kids campaign, the death and injury rate from unintentional injuries has actually gone down 26% over the last 10 years. But that's still too high, according to the experts, who say each year almost 7,000 youngsters will die from preventable injuries. Another 120,000 will be permanently disabled.
It's hard to convince a teenager that, you know, they might be having to learn how to feed themselves again and walk and even talk, and if they've been wearing that helmet, their head would have been protected.
As soon as we get this thing fixed up, I'm going to have him pick out a helmet that he's happy with, but he's going to wear one.
What do you think about helmets now?
But we should wear them.
Yeah, how come?
Because they could save your life.
Mike says when he gets better, he's going to tell all his friends to wear a helmet. And when rollerblading, doctors recommend wearing a helmet, wrist guards, knee and elbow pads, and now even a mouth guard. And Karen Rick, of course, this applies for adults as well.
Sure does.
Yes.
Be careful. Dan, thank you. Coming up, prosecutors win one in the Monica Lewinsky case. Find out how a judge's decision will affect President Clinton coming up.
Missouri voters may decide whether boats and moats can stay in business. Casino owners are trying to change the Constitution. More details in Cover Story.
I'm meteorologist John Fuller. A weak cool front continues to march our way steadily. It'll bring us clouds for the morning hours and some spotty showers with temperatures near 60 degrees. The complete 5-day outlook is coming your way.
This is News Channel 5 at 10 with Karen Foss, Rick Edlund, John Fuller, and Mike Bush. And on the Night Beat, Deanne Lane and Dan Gray.
A win for Kenneth Starr today. A federal judge has ruled President Clinton cannot claim executive privilege in the Monica Lewinsky investigation. That means Mr. Clinton's closest aides must now tell all they know about his relationship with a former intern. Aides like Bruce Lindsay and Sidney Blumenthal had stonewalled the grand jury, but if they do so now, they could face contempt charges. The president can appeal the court's decision. Meanwhile, Starr faces another court battle over whether Secret Service agents must testify about the president and Monica Lewinsky.
This fall, the war over legalized gambling will likely have a huge battle right here in Missouri.
And gambling opponents say it will be one of the most significant elections ever. That's because for casino operators, the election could well determine whether they stay in business. Tonight, News Channel 5's Jeff Fowler explains why both sides have a lot of chips on the table.
Oh, come on!
No casino can survive without slot machines. Up to 75% of revenue comes from the slots. Now the Gaming Commission wants to take the slots from Riverport's Harrah's and Players Island casinos because the casinos are too far from the river. In November of 1994, voters approved slot machines on the rivers. What the state Supreme Court said is that on the river means just that, on the river. And that apparently leaves the casinos with only two possible options. One is to move their facilities, which may not be technically possible. The other, which they apparently have decided to do, is to change the Constitution to make boats in the moats legal.
So the people can decide the question of the legality of the Constitution of the boats in the moat.
It's confusing even to the people gathering signatures to get the issue on November's ballot. The casinos have set up petition tables. Supporters come to them. For casinos like Harrah's, it could be win or close.
We're going to pursue the ballot issue. We're going to pursue the legal issues, whatever we need to do to make sure that we can keep this facility open for a long time.
In other places, we're trying to root gambling out.
Gambling opponents see this as perhaps the biggest showdown ever. In mid-March, they were already holding strategy meetings. Their theme, that the casinos lied to voters.
Now, I'm not here to deny people the right to gamble. What I am here to do is to say gambling came in under one set of circumstances and it ought to live and abide by the Constitution and the law of the land.
Ray believes that gambling opponents for the first time have a chance to oust casinos from a state that has approved gambling. He points to the fact that in 1996, of the 18 states that had elections or referenda to legalize casinos, only one, Michigan, approved it. For a while, it appeared the casino strategy would be to appeal to voters' fairness. That is, Harrah's and players followed all the rules and are now being told the rules have changed. But that strategy changed on April 4th. After barges hit the Admiral, the new Boats in a Moat theme was safety.
It is a better way for these boats to operate, and I think that the April 4th accident down on the Mississippi River just proves it.
Just days after the Admiral accident, many politicians were on the bandwagon.
This whole issue of having them sit in the stationary way that the Admiral sits there, really because we want it on the river, I think sort of doesn't make a whole lot of sense these days.
It's true, a barge will never hit these casinos. Opponents say that's not the point.
You're going to move from river boats to boats in the moat, and if we approve boats in the moat, the next thing is going to be land-based casinos.
Expected to be a costly campaign. State campaign records show casino supporters spent over $4 million in a losing slot machine vote in April of '94. They had to spend $11 million to win in November of '94. Gambling opponents spent only 2% of that total for both elections. They know they'll be outspent again.
If I have one word to them, is make our day. Go out and get the signatures and spend a ton of money, because I'm going to smile. And if I were a betting person, I'm telling you, I've been fighting this bet a long time. The mortgage money would be down on this one.
The gaming industry is convinced Missourians won't throw out the boats in a moat or the tax revenue they provide.
I think Missourians are fair, and I think that they will say, this isn't fair to these people. They spent a whole lot of money in a reliance upon something that our government said was okay.
Jeff Fowler, News Channel 5.
But if the amendment does fail in November, Harrah's plans to continue the fight to keep its slot machines.
And today was a beautiful day that tomorrow you're going to wish you got outside if you didn't.
Yes, this cool frontal system that is approaching the area is very slow to mature, and that means we will see an increasing amount of moisture overnight, and showers and thunder showers should hold off until the wee hours of the morning. It was a terrific day and lots of sunshine, but some high and mid-level clouds pushing into the region. A beautiful sunset at 7:57 this evening, and we do see those high clouds drifting across the region. A little bit of light rain over southern sections of our viewing area, but here's the next mass of thunderstorms that is headed our way and should arrive by the early morning hours. Meanwhile, just down to the south around Chester and Bonne Terre, they've seen a few sprinkles for the evening hours, and temperatures that have been really mild throughout the evening. 71 right now here, but cooler weather behind the front with 50s and 60s common across the upper Midwest. Let's check on current conditions through our eye on St. Louis and the shimmering downtown lights. Officially at Lambert Field, 71 degrees, our humidity 51%. The reason it's so warm today, south winds at about 8 to 10 miles per hour. A barometric pressure rising right now at 29.81 inches. Our high today, 80 degrees, about 3 degrees above normal for this time of year. And we got a head start this morning with a low of 55. How about those allergy numbers? Here's the mix. Mold at 780, oak 35, grass, willow, and pine at relatively moderate levels from 35 down to 11. Higher levels we expect for tomorrow. Did you know that on this date in 1917, Denver, Colorado had their greatest amount of snow for the month of May, 12 inches. So it can get wintry out in Colorado. And they have some thunder showers going on there. But here's the cool frontal system that is sauntering across the region very, very slowly. It's gathering in moisture right now, and by daybreak tomorrow, we'll have some scattered thunderstorms that should linger through the early morning hours till about noontime. Then we'll see partial clearing. It won't be quite as warm because of the additional cloud cover, a high of 74 degrees here. Out in Kansas City, the sunshine breaks out. They'll see a high of 80 degrees. Then by Thursday, another front drops into the area. Not a lot of cool weather with the front. We'll see clouds and some scattered thunder showers and high temperatures in the upper 70s. So overnight, the clouds will continue to increase. We'll see some thunder showers by about daybreak. Temperature's not that low at all, down to 60 degrees. Then for tomorrow morning, scattered showers and thunder showers. It'll be a cooler day, or less warm, a high of 74. Winds out of the southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. In the 5-day outlook, we're getting into that weather pattern that we had last week, rather unsettled, but still some sunshine tomorrow afternoon and again early on Thursday. Then thunder showers linger into Friday morning, then some clearing, and then more thunder showers for Saturday night into early Sunday, but rather uniform temperatures with highs in the mid to upper 70s. In our May climate, we usually have normal highs around 76 degrees, normal low 56, and the normal precipitation for the month is around 4 inches. 7 clear days, 10 partly cloudy days, and 4 cloudy days on average. And we'll see how that averages out at the end of the month.
Okay.
We're due a lot of clear days.
We sure are.
Thanks, John. Yeah. Coming up, the Blues will renew acquaintances in the Stanley Cup playoffs, and the NBA playoffs are on pace tonight. Mike Bush has the stories next in sports. Plus, Mark McGwire had to run the bases tonight, but did the Cardinals get enough runs against the Pirates? Mike has the highlights when we come back.
And this is the 5th of the month, the time we ask you to remind a friend to do a breast self-exam. If you want more information on breast cancer or how to do an exam, call 362-WELL during regular business hours.
Coming up tomorrow on News Channel 5's Today in St. Louis.
I'm Art Holliday. Join us tomorrow from our window on St. Louis. His books have sold millions around the world. There is a chicken soup for just about everyone. We'll talk with the author of the popular books tomorrow morning. And children are learning about computers at a younger age than ever, but is high-tech knowledge endangering their future development?
That and more on News Channel 5, beginning at 5 a.m.
Mike joins us now with sports, and the Cards are having a little trouble on this road trip, aren't they?
They are, and pitching continues to be a problem. Cards lefty Kent Mercker once pitched a no-hitter. Tonight, that's what they called any Pirate that didn't have success against him. No-hitter. It wasn't pretty. Let's roll it from Pittsburgh. Mercker didn't get past the 5th inning in his last start, and in the first tonight, Pirates got one, and in the second, here's another. Jose Guillen takes Mercker deep to left. Like it or not, it's not coming back. A solo homer for Guillen, make it 2-0 Pirates. Pirates got away from their run and inning pace in the third. They got 3. Jermaine Allensworth grounds one past third. That's extra bases. Jason Kendall and Kevin Young scored, make it 5-0 Bucks. Cards got on the board in the 4th. Royce Clayton muscling up, and you can forget about it. Make it 5-1 Pirates. Pirate fans had the lead, and they wanted some McGwire magic, too. No homers tonight, but in the 4th, he smokes this line drive to left. It short hops the wall. Got out there so quickly, Big Mac took no chances. He's going to slide into second with the double. And I'm thinking McGuire's going to need a new pair of pants. We checked the final. Unfortunately, it was 5-2 Pittsburgh. Mercker has now given up 10 runs in 8 innings in his last 2 starts. Cards have now lost 8 of 10 on the road. McGwire still 1 homer short of 400 in his career. He had a double and a single tonight. Also tonight, Cards are 3 out again. Astros win. So do the Padres, Giants, and the Braves. Montreal over Cincinnati. Colorado beats Philadelphia, and the Mets 9-1 over Arizona. In the American League, Cleveland and Boston win. Yankees in front. The Royals win tonight. They're still playing in Seattle, Oakland, and Anaheim. For the 3rd year in a row, the Blues' road to the Stanley Cup will have to go through Detroit. The Blues are hoping the 3rd time is the charm. Blues finally had a team to focus on today in practice after waiting 5 days to learn their second-round opponent. And the Blues and Wings couldn't know each other much better. In addition to losing to them in the playoffs the last 2 years, Blues play them 6 times during the regular season, and it's always physical.
Anytime you're in a series, you keep playing the same team over and over again, there's going to be rivalries and matchups that are going to favor either team.
I look at their team, and they got, the only thing they have is a Stanley Cup ring, and we don't. So, maybe we have a little more drive. I don't know. That's what I'm hoping.
During the regular season, the Blues were 3-2-1 against the Wings, but all 3 wins came here in St. Louis. To win the series, the Blues will need to win at least 1 in Detroit. It all starts there Friday night. In the NBA playoffs, it took a little while for the Indiana Pacers to shake off the rust tonight, but after they did, they shook up the New York Knicks. We go to Market Square Arena, where there was a stink early in the game. Must have been the Pacers, who only scored 13 points in the first quarter. After the miss, Knicks go on the break. John Starks will spot up for the jumper, and New York will lead it by 18 after 1. But the Pacers wound up smelling like a rose. Jalen Rose, Rose came off the bench to score a team-high 18, including a rare, for him, three-pointer. Pacers come back to take game one, final 93-83. Also tonight, Jerry Sloan and Utah hosting San Antonio in game one of their series. End of the first quarter off the inbounds, Jeff Hornacek for three, and he's fouled. That's a 4-point play. The Jazz by 10 after one, and right now they lead it in the second. Big time, 37-26. First he beat cancer, then he beat some of the best golfers in the world, and you gotta love it. His name is Trevor Dodds. He's from Namibia, but he's now a resident of De Pere. 2 weeks ago, Dodds won the PGA's Greater Greensboro Open just about 1 year after being diagnosed with testicular cancer. Fighting the disease has taught him a lot about life and golf.
I think I had a pretty good approach to life anyway before, but it just put a new urgency there that I do things right, and that's what I pretty much strive for.
And he already has 3 top 10 finishes this year. He was part of the Hale Irwin benefit yesterday that raised money for Children's Hospital, so he's giving back to the community as well.
Doing things right, just like he said. Thanks, Mike.
Sure.
Well, coming up, you may not know who the Toasters and Mustard Plug are, but your kids probably do.
Undoubtedly. Coming up next, we'll tell you who they are and what they're doing tonight to combat racism.
And we want to invite you down to our studios at 1000 Market to watch what we do through our window on St. Louis. Come down from 6 a.m. to 7 at noon or doing Show Me St. Louis at 3.
The St. Louis Police Department is getting a new weapon to combat crime, a police helicopter. They say air support is necessary. Others say it's an unnecessary expense. News Channel 5's Randy Jackson shows how some cities are already taking advantage of taking to the air. Cover story, tomorrow at 10 on News Channel 5.
John Fuller's here with another word about our weather.
We're watching a complex of thunderstorms move out of southwest Missouri. It looks like they will arrive in the area by about daybreak. You can see them shooting across Springfield towards Lake of the Ozarks and along a cool frontal system that is settling very slowly south. The result will be scattered showers and thunderstorms all the way from Denver through Kansas City towards Chicago and all the way east towards New York City and Washington, D.C. For us at rush hour, look for mostly cloudy skies and occasional showers and thunder showers, but mild. Temperatures near 60 degrees.
Thanks, John. Well, you've heard the saying, music